Another day, another story. The Ugly Duckling's radiant transformation. Once upon a time, in a quaint farm nestled amidst rolling green hills, there lived a flock of ducks by a serene pond. Within this vibrant community, there was a little duckling who was different from the rest. While his siblings boasted vibrant plumage and graceful movements, he was born with feathers that were dull and drab. The other ducks would often mock him, calling him the Ugly Duckling. From a young age, the Ugly Duckling faced rejection and isolation. His siblings, with their striking beauty, were always surrounded by playmates and admirers, while he stood alone, yearning for companionship. The Ugly Duckling's heart ached for acceptance, but it seemed that no matter where he went, he was met with disdain. As the seasons changed, the Ugly Duckling grew bigger and stronger. However, his appearance remained the same, and he still felt like an outcast among his peers. The other ducks would taunt him, jeering at his less than appealing feathers and clumsy movements. Their cruel words pierced through his delicate heart, leaving him with a deep sense of sadness and longing. Every day, the Ugly Duckling would wander around the pond, hoping to find solace and friendship. But every encounter brought nothing but rejection and mockery. The older ducks would shoo him away, while the younger ones would whisper and giggle behind his back. The Ugly Duckling's spirit began to wither under the weight of constant ridicule. Feeling utterly dejected, the Ugly Duckling decided to venture beyond the pond, in search of a place where he could find acceptance. He explored meandering streams, traversed vast fields, and ventured into unfamiliar territories. With each step, he hoped to discover a world that would value him for who he truly was. Throughout his journey, the Ugly Duckling encountered various creatures, from playful rabbits to wise old owls. However, his expectations of finding a place where he belonged remained unfulfilled. The rabbits, although friendly, were too busy hopping and frolicking to pay him much attention. The owls, while offering words of wisdom, did not offer the acceptance he craved. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months as the Ugly Duckling continued his solitary journey. His once bright eyes became dulled with sadness, and his spirit grew weary. It seemed as if he would never find the place where he truly belonged. One fateful day, as the sun cast its golden rays upon a shimmering lake, the Ugly Duckling stumbled upon a sight that took his breath away. Gliding across the water's surface was a majestic swan, her feathers glistening in the sunlight. The Ugly Duckling had never seen anything so breathtaking. Mesmerized by the swan's elegance and grace, the Ugly Duckling approached her timidly. To his surprise, the swan turned towards him with a gentle smile. "Hello there," she said, her voice as soothing as a summer breeze. "I couldn't help but notice you. Are you lost?" The Ugly Duckling, taken aback by her kindness, nodded hesitantly. "I've been searching for a place where I belong," he replied, his voice trembling with vulnerability. The swan's eyes sparkled with understanding. "You see," she began, "you are not an ugly duckling. You are a young swan, just like me." Those words echoed in the Ugly Duckling's heart, filling him with a glimmer of hope. Could it be true? Could he be destined for more than a life of rejection and sadness? Encouraged by the swan's words, the Ugly Duckling decided to accompany her, eager to explore this newfound possibility. Together, they embarked on a journey to a distant land where, the swan promised, he would be embraced for who he truly was. As they traveled, the Ugly Duckling couldn't help but notice the beauty of the world around him. Majestic mountains stretched towards the sky, their peaks kissed by ethereal clouds. Fields of wildflowers danced in the breeze, their vibrant colors painting the landscape. The Ugly Duckling's heart swelled with a mixture of awe and gratitude. Finally, after days of travel, they arrived at a breathtaking sanctuary, a haven for swans. The Ugly Duckling's eyes widened as he beheld the sight he had only dreamt of. Graceful swans glided across the shimmering lake, their wings spreading wide in a mesmerizing dance. The air was filled with the soft melody of their calls, creating a symphony of belonging. Overwhelmed with emotion, the Ugly Duckling stepped onto the tranquil shores of the sanctuary. He was greeted by the sight of other swans, who turned their heads to look at him with curiosity and warmth. They seemed to sense his true essence, his inner beauty that had been hidden beneath his dull exterior. The ugly duckling's heart swelled with a mixture of excitement and apprehension as he realized that he had finally found his place among his kind. The swans approached him, their graceful movements exuding a sense of tranquility and acceptance. They welcomed him with open wings and gentle honks, embracing him as one of their own. The ugly duckling's eyes filled with tears of joy as he felt a profound connection with these magnificent creatures. For the first time in his life, he was not an outcast but a part of a loving community. Days turned into weeks, and the ugly duckling thrived in his new home. He soaked in the wisdom of the older swans, who shared tales of courage and resilience. He learned to glide across the water with grace and elegance, his once clumsy movements transformed into a harmonious dance. The ugly duckling's dull feathers began to change. Slowly, they shed their drabness, revealing a vibrant plumage beneath. Shades of ivory, silver, and gold adorned his wings, reflecting the radiance that had always dwelled within him. The transformation was not just external, it was a reflection of the ugly duckling's newfound self-acceptance and confidence. As the ugly duckling blossomed into a radiant swan, his story spread far and wide. People from all walks of life marveled at his journey of transformation, captivated by the tale of the once ugly duckling who had become a majestic swan. His story inspired hope and reminded others that true beauty lies not in appearances but in embracing one's true self. Eager to share his journey, the ugly duckling became an ambassador of self-acceptance and resilience. He visited schools, community centers, and even traveled to distant lands, spreading his message of hope. His story resonated with countless individuals who had felt like outcasts, encouraging them to embrace their uniqueness and believe in their own potential. Years passed, and the ugly duckling's impact continued to grow. His sanctuary became a place of refuge and transformation for those who sought solace and acceptance. Swans from far and wide flocked to the sanctuary, drawn by the aura of belonging that surrounded it. The ugly duckling, now a wise and revered elder, reflected on his journey. He had come a long way from the lonely days by the pond, where he had felt like an ugly duckling. Through his struggles and perseverance, he had discovered his true identity, his purpose in life. And in doing so, he had found a community that celebrated him for who he was, a swan of remarkable beauty and strength. As the ugly duckling gazed into the shimmering lake, he saw his reflection, a proud, elegant swan staring back at him. He smiled, his heart filled with gratitude for the journey that had led him to this moment. His story had become a timeless reminder that even the most unlikely individuals can rise above adversity, find their true purpose, and illuminate the world with their unique beauty. In the sanctuary of swans, the ugly duckling found solace and purpose. Surrounded by his newfound family, he reveled in the joy of belonging. Together, they soared through the cerulean skies, their wings beating in perfect harmony. Each day brought new adventures and discoveries, as the ugly duckling explored the vast landscapes and basked in the warmth of camaraderie. As time passed, the ugly duckling's reputation as a symbol of resilience and self-acceptance grew far and wide. People from distant lands would travel to the sanctuary, their hearts filled with hope and curiosity. They marveled at the transformation he had undergone, both inside and out. Inspired by his story, they too embarked on their own journeys of self-discovery, eager to embrace their true selves. The ugly duckling became a mentor to the young swans who arrived at the sanctuary, guiding them with his wisdom and compassion. He encouraged them to spread their wings and explore their potential, reminding them that their worth lay not in comparison to others, but in the unique gifts they possessed. The sanctuary became a place of transformation, where every swan was nurtured and celebrated for their individuality. News of the ugly duckling sanctuary reached the ears of a renowned artist named Sophia. Intrigued by the tales of beauty and belonging, she embarked on a pilgrimage to witness the sanctuary for herself. Sophia was captivated by the vibrant hues of the swans' feathers, the graceful dance of their wings, and the serenity that enveloped the sanctuary. Inspired by her experience, Sophia dedicated herself to capturing the essence of the ugly duckling's journey on canvas. With each brushstroke, she infused the painting with the vibrant colors of resilience, self-acceptance, and the transformative power of love. The masterpiece would be unveiled to the world, a tangible testament to the ugly duckling's remarkable odyssey. The day of the grand unveiling arrived, and people from all corners of the earth gathered to witness Sophia's masterpiece. As the curtains fell, gasps of wonder and awe filled the air. The painting depicted the ugly duckling's transformation, from a small, lonely duckling to a magnificent swan, radiating confidence and beauty. It was a masterpiece that spoke to the hearts of all who beheld it, a reminder that true beauty lies not in conformity, but in embracing our authentic selves. The ugly duckling stood before the painting, his heart swelling with gratitude. The journey that had begun with rejection and loneliness had led to this moment, a moment of triumph, acceptance, and radiance. He had become a beacon of hope for countless souls, a living testament to the transformative power of self-love and resilience. From that day forward, the Ugly Duckling Sanctuary became a sanctuary of the heart, a place where individuals from all walks of life could find solace, healing, and the strength to embrace their unique beauty. It became a gathering place for artists, poets, and dreamers, all seeking inspiration and a renewed sense of purpose. His tale was passed down from parent to child, inspiring young hearts to be proud of their differences and to rise above the judgments of others. The once lonely duckling had become a legend, immortalized in stories, songs, and works of art. As twilight cast its gentle glow over the sanctuary, the ugly duckling perched by the shimmering lake. He looked back on his journey, his heart overflowing with gratitude. The moonlit sky embraced him, and the stars whispered tales of his courage and transformation. As he soared through the heavens, he knew that his story would live on, an eternal reminder that even the unlikeliest of beings can find their place in the world and shine with a brilliance all their own.